I mean,
Wow.
that's what it's at, because
That's
he's
what
not.
it is.
Yeah, I mean, because Demetrius is gonna get exposed as being conservative and tightly wound. Tory, come on, man, he's even behaving badly. Like, he can't even fake it anymore.
I
And
know,
so,
right?
Clifton got his connection with Joy, and Paul's on a couple different women's radar, right? Christina and Carmen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, all right. I'm done with my
All right. Now
yo
it's
go.
my time to get to some of the ladies.
Okay.
However, I have some unfinished business to talk about. Laverne could just step to the front of the congregation, please. I'm gonna have to say, dude, you suck. Okay, you just weak. You just got no G. You know what you are? I know the type of guy you are. You were a nerd growing up. You was a skateboarder. You had bifocals on. You had braces on. You had freckles. Okay. You grew up in middle school with nobody checking for you. You got into your grown man body. You went into the gym, took the braces off, put the shades on, and you thought you was cool, but you didn't have, you never developed your game. You never developed your man skills, okay? And that's what you are missing. You need Hitch, okay? You need someone to help you in the dating game. You need a dating coach. You need Will Smith or something. Well, maybe not Will Smith, the person, but the character Hitch. You need someone to help you out. You
He
was,
said that
did he say that?
at the very end. The producers were like, "Go apologize to her," but he said, "I've
Yeah.
dated and I'm struggling with dating," and he doesn't see how he comes across. Like, in his head, it plays one way,
Yeah.
but
And I
in
and I and I
body
know
is
why. The reason why is because he was a nerd as a kid. I bet you he was. And he never developed dating skills. And you go to the elimination and you talk greasy to Sabrina. You go out like a sucker, man. You went out like a sucker. And then you talking about, I'm just going to get my dog and go home. You know how lame you look? Is that the only female you can?
Who says his dog is a female?
It has to be. It has to
You
be. He ain't getting no females nowhere else. It has to be.
you making me need my lip gloss. Talking. Lips is driving me crazy.
Oh, and all those good genes you say Laverne got, he got them good genes. Well, them motherfuckers ain't making it to the next generation.
He does have kids, ass.
Yeah, well, his kids is his only hope because this motherfucker, he could probably, let me tell you something, man. How can you get to a point? Look, you could be drowning in pee water, okay? You could be drowning in it, but you have no game, and you kind of played yourself when you, went to the meeting all bravado and I know what this is about, this, that, and the third. Man, get a dating coach, dog. You just lame, and I'm not surprised that you went. All the women wasn't feeling you. Now it was lovely in the beginning because you was King Laverne. When the first day, you had all the ladies lined up, all surrounding you. Let me sit next to this man. Let me see what this man is about. You was feeling yourself. But by the time they all got to know you, you left. None of them wanted you.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't that none of them.
And I know she don't feel good about me talking about her main boo like this, but you went out like a sucker, dude. And have Sabrina, she was even trying to calm you down. You had producers had to come in and talk to you. Get a hold of your emotions, let go of a lot of your ego, get a dating coach, learn some stuff about yourself, treat the ladies better, treat yourself better. But you don't got a clue on how to and if you like that and just a little dating show, you're gonna be even worse in a relationship. You had Ace, and Ace looked like she moved on. She didn't even fight for you. And that was your last hope. Get it together, brother. Now, I'm done with the I have to take I don't want to say the trash out because I don't think nobody is trash, but I had to address a fellow brother. I mean, you know, I got love for you at the end of the day, man. I just thought you handled it wrong, all the way wrong. And you made yourself look bad. Okay. Talking about, I don't trust anybody. I'm just going to take my dog. You just look lame to me. And I'm sure a lot of brothers seen the same thing. So brother to brother, get your act together. Okay. Get some help with that. Moving on, I will say, shout out to the exes. These dudes was on point. Okay, they was on point. They was knocking these dudes down. They figured all of them out in just a short amount of time. It was very, I wouldn't say surprised by the brothers, but I was impressed by the brothers, how they pretty much figured a lot of these guys out just in a sit down luncheon or whatever date it was. It was impressive. Ace, her ex, she figured those guys out right away. You want to be a beta or you want to be a alpha? Which one? Because that's what you got right here. And he was dead on. So was Carmen's man. He was dead on. And these guys, and let me tell you, who's the only one I didn't really like, and I just keep it hot, is Joy's ex. Listen, man, don't be psycho. And if I was Cliff, I'd be like, don't be psychoanalyzing me, motherfucker. You don't know me. Talking about, and since you asked that question, that makes you look just.
It didn't make him. He came in.
It didn't make him. It made him look like he wanted to
come in looking like Cliff.
No,
Cliff
no.
is very diplomatic and smooth. He looked uncomfortable, frazzled, insecure. He
didn't look comfortable or frazzled. Okay. I wouldn't have asked the question of, does that make me look jealous? I wouldn't have asked that question. But at the same time, I just thought that the dude was a bit of a chatty patty, and he's trying to psychoanalyze all the guys to the point of not necessarily, like, you can do it without trying to psychoanalyze motherfuckers. I would have been like, look, you don't know me, dog.
That was the right choice for her.
What's he talking about? And he said something like, there's therapy for that. Motherfucker, what? Did you hear him say that? You know, there's therapy for that. You can get therapy. Get the fuck out of here, dog. As a man,
Cliff came in really, really accusatory of dude. Like, and I could see him. He put him on the defense.
No, he didn't come in. He was asking questions. I'm Team Cliff all day. I'm Team Cliff all day. Listen, dude, don't come in psychoanalyzing me, talking about I seem jealous and there's therapy for that. Motherfucker, who are you? You the ex, okay? I'm the next. Stand back, stand down, okay? I would have handled that a whole lot more different than Cliff, but that's just me. It ain't, maybe a little bit of my ego would have came out. I'll admit it, but I just felt like the dude was a bit of a chatty patty and trying to push buttons and trying to psychoanalyze me and telling me I need therapy. Like, motherfucker, I just asked a couple questions and you trying to tell me I need to go to therapy? Who the fuck are you? And that's what made Clifton look the way that he did, is because Clifton kind of halfway sort of agreed with him. And that's where Clifton made the mistake, because now he got everybody thinking that he's a troubled soul and stuff like that. Even you started judging Cliff off of that. And that guy, he's slick. He switched it around on Cliff, and he kind of got him to he just tapped into one of Cliff's maybe insecurities or whatever, and it worked. But look, I'm sure your ass got some insecurities, bruh. Okay, and I'm sure that you feeling a certain type of way that she's here with 2 other dudes that's up next. I'm sure you feeling a certain type of way. You ain't gonna let it show, because if you do, there's therapy for that, right? So you ain't gonna let it show. You just gonna try and be slick and smooth and coy and all this other stuff. But obviously she wasn't checking for you. That's why y'all done. But that was the one guy that I was like, dog, you lame, dog. You lame. Okay. You sitting up here trying to psychoanalyze somebody. I get it. You trying to get some answers for Joy. I get that part. But don't come at me at my mental like I need fucking therapy. And you just sat down with me 5 minutes. The fuck out of here. That's how I feel. Okay. I would have not been happy about that situation. And I wouldn't have handled, because it made Clifton look like it made him look a certain type of way, and everybody bought into it. But he let that guy get to him to the point where he switched it on him, and he let that guy tap into an insecurity, and he didn't handle it well. Even you up here talking about Cliff we need to talk.
I just gotta circle back, because I need to know, is this gonna be a thing? Because I can't have nobody with a thumb on me like that. But what I want to say, my impression was Cliff came in to me looking like he had an insecurity. To me, when he said he's in therapy, to me, he redeemed himself with that, because he knows it's out of bounds. He knows, he acknowledges that it's an issue and it is hampering me, and he's been married twice. And and that's another thing I didn't really catch before, the fact that he's been married twice. Not that Joy should be weary, but a slow pace is what I would take with Cliff, just because he's such a cool guy, and everybody that's cool, I'm gonna say we got a dark side. And the key to somebody who loves you is figuring out what that dark side is. And so for me, we saw the dark side of Cliff today, which makes it more human to me, which is why he's still at the top. But I would want to, at some point, circle back to that, because I need to know. And I probably, if we never talked about it, I'd still be curious, because I need to understand, is it everybody got a dark side? It's a medium dark side, or is it just like really dark? You a different kind of person, because that exists in people too. So I didn't think the guy set him up. I think Cliff came in hot. I think he put the guy on the defense. I think Cliff redeemed himself by admitting, this is an issue.
I think it went totally different. I think it went totally different. I think the guy came in like a woman. Hold on. No, he didn't start it. Okay. Cliff asked him some questions. He came in like a woman. Like I would expect her girlfriend to ask questions like that, to get in his head. And since you asked that question, you look like you could be insecure. And there's therapy for that.
It was a very insecure question.
You can go get therapy. It was a jab. It was a jab at him. But
Clifton's question was it came from an insecure place.
It did. Like, dude, listen, don't psychoanalyze. Your only job is to sit here and answer my questions. That's really all of it's about. And if you don't want to answer them, that's okay. I don't need you. Me and Joy is rocking real nice right now. You are the past, okay? So now, if you don't want to give me no information on the past, that's fine. But I don't need your advice. I don't need you psychoanalyzing me. I don't need you sitting up here telling me that I need therapy. I don't need none of that.
He do. He admitted it. Why are you so hung up on that?
I'm hung up on it because the guy took a shot at him and it made Cliff look a certain type of way.
No, Cliff
and
made
I didn't
Cliff
really
look
appreciate
a certain type of.
maybe Cliff did. Like I said, Cliff
Cliff.
didn't respond in the right way.
I think Cliff started off wrong.
But I think the guy came in judging Cliff. And unfortunately, Cliff led him. Hold on, Tamara. Let me get this out. I know, but you keep interrupting me. Let me get this out. Okay. Here's how it is. Okay. The guy came in and he took shots. Now, look, if any female came in and took shots at one of the females, okay, and told her, like, I can't wait to see next week, because the men X's is gonna come up. And if some of these women take shots at some of these women and tell them you must be jealous and you need therapy and all this other stuff, women gonna feel that. Y'all gonna feel a certain type of way, like, look, who is you, chick, to be coming in here judging me? I can see it already. Same thing happened with this in this situation. Only difference is man on man. Okay, like that's why I say he came in like a woman, psychoanalyzing and telling people they need therapy. Mother, you don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know my struggle, what I've been through, or anything like that. Now, like I said, Cliff did handle it in a way that made him look a certain type of way. But me, I would have said, look, dude, all I need from you is how the relationship was in the past. I don't need you psychoanalyzing me. Okay, the thing is this: if you want to tell me about your past and how she was and some things I can look out for, I will very much appreciate that. Okay, but me as a person, I don't need you coming at me about my psyche. Okay, I'm the next up. You're the past. If you don't want to play that role and give me that information, that's on you, because me and Joy is rocking steady anyway. But if you do, I would appreciate that, man to man. But we've only been here 5 or 10 minutes and you telling me to go see a therapist. That's not your place, bro. That's not your place. And I'm sure if any woman came in and said that to any of the women, they would say the same thing. You don't know me. Okay. So that was the only ex I had an issue with, is that guy. The rest of them, cool beans. They all down. We could all kick it. That guy is a woman. That's why Joy is not with him no more. Okay. So that being said, that Joy date, that's how I dissected it. I felt a certain type of way for Cliff because I seen how it made him look. Now, I know you saying, oh, well, it showed his vulnerability. He gained favor. And I'm saying he shouldn't have had to gain no fucking favor from a stranger. Okay. He shouldn't have had to redeem himself from a stranger who came there and sat down 10 minutes and tried to psychoanalyze him. He shouldn't have had to do that. The ex wanted to push buttons. The ex wanted to try and now I'll say this. He did say at the end of the day that Cliff was a better match for her. And that's how, if anything, he redeemed himself. If I was there, he would have wrote me off, because I wouldn't have been putting up with you ain't no, I don't know if he's a psychiatrist or not, but I wouldn't have been putting up with the whole, trying to get in my head and try to push my buttons. Your only job is to tell me about y'all past. If you don't want to do that, fine. It would be appreciated, but I don't need it.
The problem I have with your summary is you're not remembering it the way I remember it. I remember Cliff asked him a specific question that, to me, exposed his insecurity. He had the question. The question was loaded. The question was laced in, what y'all doing nowadays? What kind of exes are y'all? That's the question Cliff came in with first. Cliff didn't ask about the past. He asked about what kind of relationship y'all got today. And That's what Spiral did. That's what I remember. We should both rewatch it because we just saw it. So
Yeah.
that's why I feel like Cliff's question came from insecurity. Not that this dude, how the person responded to him, I'll let you have all that, but I don't think it was that serious. I think Cliff started there, just like Joy even said, I already know he got issues with exes. So she knew Cliff was uncomfortable with the situation.
Okay, well,
so that's why it didn't.
Okay, let me respond to
the
that.
way it impacted me.
Okay, let me respond to that. Here's the thing. Okay, Cliff may have asked some questions. First of all, I wouldn't have asked those questions. Now I know that Cliff really likes Joy. Okay, so I'm not sure if any of the men were aware that they were going to be meeting exes. Let's just make that clear.
It seems like they didn't know.
They didn't know.
Not their first date, they didn't know.
Yeah. So to walk in and be surprised with the one he likes the most, her ex, it was probably a bit jarring for Clifton. So he was immediately on territorial mode. He was in territorial mode. Now, obviously, if that's her ex and he's just meeting him and he didn't even know he was going to meet an ex, he's going to see like, oh, well, how close are you two? You know, I you can question the question, I guess you could say. Maybe I wouldn't have asked that question, but that's what he asked. How close are you two? And I get it. And then he leads with, well, jealousy is not going to get you nowhere with Joy or something like that. This guy was just snooty and just passive aggressive. Okay, he was very passive aggressive. Now, again,
can I offer this to you? If Cliff's my number one, and
why are you taking up for this guy? Why are you taking up for this guy?
I was going to say something to you, and I want to help you sensitize you to something. Cliff's my number one. Cliff's my favorite. He's the guy I want to run off with. And even I thought his line of questioning, not said it's a red flag and I'm never going to talk to Cliff, but that made me know, even though Joy already knew this, he's not okay in this area. And we all got areas we're not okay with. And we're lucky if the person tells you up front. Like for me, you grab me. I'm not okay with men grabbing me. I got issues. I'm just going to tell you, I'm working through it. But that's a thing, right? That's okay. That's why it didn't bother her. My thing with you and this guy is Cliff did come out of a different bag than you've ever seen him come out of before. I have to admit that. And he is my number one choice. He's still my number.
He came out because he was surprised by the ex.
Sure.
So it is jarring. Like a lot of the guys were a little surprised when it was, oh, this is your ex. So yeah, that's an eye opener. Yep. So again, but you got to remember, he has a very strong like for Joy.
Of course.
So and more than any other woman. So of course it's going to lead to some questions about, how close are y'all two? And but what I don't like is that he led into it being about jealousy.
It did come across.
But he didn't have. No, it didn't. It's just a question. Okay. How close are you? How close are you two? Oh well, y'all. All he had to say is, y'all don't have to worry. Me and her are not rocking like that no more. He didn't have to bring up a jealousy question. You see what I'm saying? By doing that was passive aggressive. So you're assuming that, and that's why Cliff was like, oh, so you think I'm jealous? Because the jealousy word. It shouldn't have came out his mouth. It shouldn't have came out his mouth. Period. And I'm telling you, the guy have woman tendencies. He has, and that's nothing wrong with that. But look, man to man, don't ask me. No, look, dude, I only met you 5 freaking minutes. Okay, do not psychoanalyze me and then tell me I need a freaking therapist. Now, I'm sure Tamara thinks I need a therapist right now.
I do. I'm like, we're going to have to talk about where this really...
No, I don't. Maybe I do. I don't know. But I'm sure everybody do. But what I'm saying is it came off passive aggressive. And in a setting like this, you don't bring up jealousy words. You don't bring up therapist words. You don't bring these buzzwords out because it's going to make him look a certain type of way. Because then he put him in a pretty much an emotional figure four. Okay, he put him in a headlock emotionally, because if Cliff tried to combat this guy, he's going to look like he needs therapy, and if he admits it, then he needs therapy. There's no way for him to get out of this situation. He's going to look bad irregardless. And this guy is a little sneaky. He a little snake, and he put him in that emotional figure four. And I seen it, and I didn't appreciate it. That's why I would have stopped him. I would have said, it ain't going down like that. Tell me about y'all past, but don't psychoanalyze me, dog.
Hey,
you don't know me. We only met 5 minutes.
Can I ask you something? Because you're going on about this one. So you thought Cliff handled himself any differently with the Dakia date? Because I feel like he was out of character in that one too.
Well, I think he was a lot more friendly, and he was touching and rubbing on Dakia. And he said he should have did that with the Joy. I wish he would have did that with the Joy.
Yeah, because he looked frazzled, and that's the thing.
He did.
It wasn't, but I would argue that's not because the guy said something. He was frazzled.
He frazzled because he likes her the most. So it was more of a tense. It got him out of his cool. Now with the Kia, it ain't that much pressure, so he can relax. He can be touchy and feely on her. And he probably even thought about it and was like, damn, I'm gonna be this way with the Kia, because I'm not gonna get in no emotional figure fours like I did with the Joy situation. And that's why he said I should have did that in the Joy, so the guy would have known how cool me and her is. But he knew how
confident he is in their connection. He didn't come across.
But he knew he messed up. He knew he messed up with that whole Joy situation, and he wished he could have did it over. He wished he could have did it like the Dakia Joy.
So that's why I don't know why you going on for 20 minutes about the guy.
I'm not going on for that. He didn't show because up, you keep bringing up follow-up questions. The thing is this: I already addressed how I would have handled it. I know that if Cliff could do it over, he would have done it differently.
But you know what I'm telling you? If he had responded like you had, he would have looked worse. I really do. I think he would have escalated this. It would have escalated the situation.
No, he wouldn't have. No, he wouldn't have.
Yes, I think
he would have. No, he wouldn't have. He would have looked better, because he would have been. No, he wouldn't have. No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
Well, that's your opinion.
Cliff always is cool.
Yeah. Again, I would have been cool. I would have been cool. I would have just said, dude.
You think
we only known each other? No, I'm talking to you. But what I'm saying is this. I would have said, dude, we've only known each other for 5 minutes. Okay. All I need from you is this. And if not, cool. I would have lost my cool. I would have just redirected him and got myself out of that figure four situation. Again, even Cliff would have done it differently at that point. And he's not happy with his response. Even though you think it made him look better, he don't. He don't even think he made it look better. So
because he's not a woman and you're not a woman. So
right.
That's why.
But I didn't appreciate the passive. I didn't appreciate the passive aggressive nature of the ex.
I'm sure I didn't appreciate it either, but I also appreciated how Cliff recovered. And also the guy, whatever motive you believe he had, he still came away and said Cliff's the one, right?
Yeah, he did. And I did give him that. And I did say, yeah, he did at least admit that. But at the end of the day, I just thought that it was uncalled for, because he brung up buzzwords that will make Joy question Cliff from that point on. Don't bring up things like jealousy. Don't bring up things like seeing a therapist. Don't bring those things up, because you're trying to you're trying to put me in a figure four, and I'm not gonna let you do that. I would have just handled it differently, and Cliff would have handled it differently too.
You're highlighting something where black men and black women are gonna keep missing each other. You are coming from this alpha pounding on your chest. Don't put me in this situation. Where for us, being honest, direct, and vulnerable means you are human.
Seriously?
I'm serious.
Even you looked at Cliff differently after that.
And I still like him. He's my first choice.
Okay.
I feel like what shocked me was he was frazzled. Not that he asked the question, not that he's in therapy, not that he got issues, that he was frazzled by seeing other people.
Surprised. Why is that your biggest shock?
That just surprised me because he handles himself so well in every awkward situation that they put him in. That's all.
Okay.
That's all. But
we would agree to disagree, but I'm gonna tell you, if it was a woman and she came to the table telling you need therapy and you jealous and stuff like that, you would have felt away.
I would have disconnected. I'm not gonna get the mud with you. I wouldn't have responded like you.
You would have disconnected, and then the guy would have been thinking, yeah. I'm not saying that Joy is thinking that way about Cliff, but all I'm saying, but guess what? Everybody who viewed the show, even you, started looking at Cliff differently, and the guy put that little trick bag in there to do that to Cliff. I just thought that was in bad taste. That's all I'm saying. If it was a friend or something like that, somebody I've known, and they said that, it would have been a different response because they know. But look, we just sat down, dude. I ain't even finished my drink, and you telling me I need to see a therapist? F out of here, man. Look, you have
not made an additional point in the last 10 minutes.
Well, because you keep interrupting me. All right, let's move on. Okay, so I covered Joy, okay, and I'm gonna cover Dakia. Yeah, she let Eric go. Now let me say this, okay. I can't say that she overreacted because it's her body. She can say whatever she wants, and she can feel however she wants. If she felt that it was not necessary to pursue a relationship with Eric anymore, that's her prerogative. It does tell me some things about Dakia, though. It does tell me some things about Dakia, and it gave me a better insight into her psyche and her personality. And what it did is it showed me that she could be a woman that's not very forgiving and not very understanding. She has that linear thinking. You know how. I ain't gonna say that, but I was gonna say, how engineers think, but I'm just messing with you. But she just seems like she's very just not forgiving, and with that attitude, like, she can only stand the sunny days. She can't really deal with the rainy days. Okay. And even New Edition asks, can you stand the rain? I don't think she can stand the rain. And I don't think that even if she got in a relationship with any guy on there or even off the show, I don't think those relationships are going to last, because did he violate in a way? Like, we don't know the extent. So it's not even, a hard opinion about her. It's just a soft opinion about her, and that is that she doesn't take me. I mean, she came off very cold in the meeting, right? When Tommy asked her what happened and this, that, and the third, she was just like, I'm this, and I don't want to see him no more. She didn't even really explain what happened. I don't know why she didn't explain what happened. Maybe because she didn't want a lot of people's reaction to, like, this, that, and the third, because she didn't want nobody else's opinion. I get it. But at the end of the day, I just think that it just revealed more of her personality to me. And, beautiful woman. I like Dakia. I still like Dakia. I just think that she's just a woman that you can't make no mistakes with. And that practically is impossible. It just is impossible. You're going to make a mistake somewhere, and if she's not going to, like, it ain't like he look, again, I'm not going to measure what he did. All I'm gonna just say is that it didn't seem like it was something that she couldn't recover from, or at least have a conversation to talk to Eric about. Maybe they did talk about it afterwards. I don't know, but it just exposed a little bit more of her personality, and that's again, this is not a right or wrong situation. What she did was right to her, and that's good, and that's I'm all for it. I'm clapping for it, but all I'm saying is it just exposed a little bit more of her personality and the type of person she is, and just not very forgiving just comes to mind. It's just, and ain't nothing wrong with that if she's a person that's not very forgiving.
Can I offer my what I thought about it? It's not at all what you think, but it's not. And I'm not attacking you.
Go ahead. Here's
the thing that women, maybe I'll just say I've struggled with. One of the things with Dakia is she's very, when it came to some of the comments, she had sexual responses. She gave the impression that she was free and had a very, not as much as Precious, but had a, more of an open.
An energy right. About her. Yeah.
Right. The thing that us women have to balance is there's nuance to it. And so, not that she gave Eric a signal that he could do that she would be cool with that, right? But I bet he didn't think she was going to be upset by it. I don't think he.
I didn't think she would respond the way that she did. Obviously, if he wouldn't have did it, if he did, right. Yeah.
Exactly. So really the thing is, us women, and this is a man's responsibility too, though. So, for example, if a woman expresses that she likes sex,
right,
to a untrained man, he might think he can get it whenever he wants it. He might think
to an untrained,
all things can happen at any, right? Anybody can get it. That's not what that means, right? For every woman. Some women, that does mean that. Some women, it doesn't. Some women might mean in our private space, I'm game for whatever you game for. It could mean a whole host of things, right? And so one of the things that I think Dakia tried to do was break the fact that she's an engineer, so people could think that she wasn't stiff and stuffy like people see Paul is, because Paul is interesting. But I know it's got to be a challenge to honor yourself and say, like, I like sex. I'm a sexual woman. I got this appetite, but you can't just touch me any old kind of way, right? You just can't do any old kind of thing to me. And right. I think, not to say that she opened the door for that, because that's not what I'm saying. I just know as a woman who can come across that way. I've been in situations where that type of language signals to a man some things that's might not have been what she meant for him to pick up.
All right, let me respond to that. Okay, now here's the thing. Yeah, I agree with that. You made a great point. If nothing else, it would seem to me, not even to Eric, but to me, that she gave mixed signals. Okay. Now, mixed signals, what, like she was saying to Clifton, oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm at my sexual peak, and this, that, and the third. And she give that energy off, but when that energy is coming at her, all of a sudden she's pulling back, like, oh, you violated me and stuff like that. Now, should he have done it? Hell no. He shouldn't have. But at the same time, you would think that would be something we can talk through. Maybe I got the signals mixed up a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is help with what you were saying, which is not that she's a bad person because that wasn't okay with her, right? We all got our boundaries, and we don't have to explain them to anybody but God, right? Right. Why this is okay for Cliff to rub her knee, but it's not okay for him to grab her breasts in front of a bunch of men. There's a difference in those activities.
Right.
There's a difference in the audience. There's a difference in the situation. Maybe and so I can imagine. I don't know. I just wanted to offer that because as you were talking about it, I'm like, yeah, but the thing with being a woman and
it's
to be empowered in your sexuality without being objectified is a very fine line.
Yeah, it is. But
every man
if
doesn't
that
get.
right, but if that is the case, then I mean, I'm just saying that they should have had a conversation. I'm not sure if they did or not. She don't take me as a woman who would even want to talk about it afterwards. So Eric probably couldn't even say what he wanted to say or whatever. But there at least should have been a conversation, because I could see how he got mixed signals. But that doesn't justify anything, but at least a conversation I felt was warranted. You remember, I think I said this a couple episodes about Dakia. I said there's something about her that I'm not sure of. There's just some unknowns about her. I said, she would be at the top, but there is something unknown. I'm just waiting for that unknown. I think this is what I was waiting for. I said that Joy come off as the most transparent, but as far as Dakia, I liked her a lot. Even before I seen this episode, I still do. But I said, I'm not saying it is her representative, but there's just something in the background, because to me it don't make no sense why she's single, really. I mean, she's career driven. She got her life together. She's very attractive. She was engaging. She had the energy. She had everything a man could really look for. And I was like, I don't trust it. There's something else going on with her that is giving me pause. And I think this was it. I know that, I see your face and everything, but
I'm laughing at you because some of this is kind of funny.
Why is that?
Well, because she's everything. Well, okay. So there's judgment, and there's got to be something why she's still single. Like that. That's just so. That's what most women who look like every man's choice, who's single, that's what they hear, right? And it's just loaded with judgment. Like there's something wrong with you. That's all you really want to say. Something wrong with Dakia because she looked fine from the outside. Something wrong.
But here's the thing. With my judgments, I don't act on my judgments. I keep them stored in the back. I had Dakia high on my list. You know this.
Yeah,
I had Dakia high on my list. I did not judge her. I said I'm gonna just put it to the side, but I'm not gonna give her first place. I had that reserved for Joy because Joy was the most transparent. I said it's something about Dakia, and you can look at the video back, and I said, look,
you did say that. You did say that.
And I said, there's a part of her, and I truly do think this is it. She's just that way. I'm not gonna even put a word to it. Yeah, I'm not gonna put a label on it. I'm gonna just say that she's that way, and that it can confuse men. So no shade to Dakia. Still like Dakia, but I think less and less of a long-term relationship with her, because in relationships you need to talk. If you can't even talk things out, that's a warning sign to me. If you don't even want to talk about it, that doesn't warrant long-term relationship to me. And that is why I think that she's probably haven't found that right guy. She probably have found that right guy, threw him right back because she couldn't talk things out. I mean, it's just simple as that.
Okay.
So who else? Sabrina. I think, Sabrina did have 3 guys. Dimitri is losing a little favor, but I get it. Look, if you vibe better with Devin, what's his name? Donovan. That's cool. Ride off into the sunset with him. I don't really have no issue with Sabrina. I'm not even mad with how she reacted to Vern because I seen her trying to talk to him. I don't really have no issue with how things with her ex. Her ex seemed pretty cool guy. She do like the chocolate brother. Shout out to Sabrina. Can I say that? Shout out to Sabrina. He did say though that she can be kind of stubborn, and she can be kind of she don't let things go, and I see that about her too. So that was one of the things that the ex did bring to the forefront, is she can be a little stubborn and want to, you know, he said something like she can cut you off. She could just cut you off. See, I don't like that type of stuff from women. I mean, if you could just cut me off, then I'm wasting my time, because I ain't perfect. Okay, I'm just close to it, but I ain't perfect. I'm just kidding, but
I gotta laugh out loud.
Yeah, I had to give a little comic relief on that
You're
one.
close to perfect, Mike.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not perfect. I'm not pretending to be. But what I'm saying is that I'm gonna mess up somewhere. Okay, maybe I don't put the toilet seat down. You're gonna cut me off because of that?
If I fall in the toilet, yeah, I'm joking.
But that's what I'm talking about. It's like all of these unreasonable, like, it seems like a lot of these women want the fairy tale. Look, there is no fairy tale. Okay, ladies, there is no fairy tale. Guess what? None of these dudes out here is perfect. Guess what? You ain't perfect. Okay, we need to work together to make this happen. But we got to open up the lines of communication. We got to talk to each other. Ain't none of this cutting me off stuff. You're gonna be dating forever. You're gonna be in your 30s, 40s, and 50s dating, trying to find the fairy tale, and it's never gonna happen. You got to learn how to not sweat the small stuff and let that stuff go. You know, I just don't like I don't like bratty women, and honestly, that kind of turned me off with Sabrina, because it did came off as, like I said, pretty privileged and a little bit bratty, right? And I kind of expected that out of her. Not that I would accept it out of her.
Yeah.
But I kind of expected out of her. I don't know to what degree, so I would have still checked for her. I still would have gotten a relationship with her to see to what degree. Yeah, but at the same time, I just think that he did expose some things, and he did kind of give you a peek inside how she is. She's, you know, all the spiteful and all of this stuff, that's for the birds, man. We grown as hell up in here, up in this piece. Leave all that spoiled brat, childish, can't talk things out, cut me off, block me on Instagram. For real? Like, I just don't like that stuff. It's a turn off for me. So all that being said, I still don't really have much of an issue with Sabrina, but I did get a peek into her personality workings a little bit more, and I'm like, oh, okay, very cautious about that too.
She's another woman that you're not seeing who she really is.
No, I'm seeing who she really is. Listen, I told you, I said this before. We shouldn't prejudge people. Remember I said that, but we all do. We all do it. I prejudge the same question I had with Dakia, and I'm waiting for that shoe to drop. I had with Sabrina. Again, when I had the walk-off list, she was not number one.
I know.
And it ain't because of her looks. It's because of other stuff in the background. Okay, so that's why. And I judged her just as harshly as I judged Dakia, but softly. These are not hard judgments because I don't know these women. These are just soft judgments based on the information I'm getting. And I already told you she had pretty privilege. I already knew that. And that is a turn off to me. So is all of this cutting you off and not talking and not speaking and being bratty and all this stuff, because I anticipate that that's going to be an issue if you date her, is all of that stuff. Go ahead.
You talk about Sabrina, you're not talking about Christina.
I'm
Because
talking
I
about
remember.
Sabrina.
Okay,
I'm
I don't
talking about
remember
Sabrina.
Sabrina's ex saying all that about her, but
No, I didn't get
just
to
know that
Christina yet, but yeah, I'm gonna get to Christina, but I'm talking about Sabrina's.
Sabrina, one of the things that actually redeemed qualities for me with her, because I thought spacey to me about her, is that her ex said that she wants to be part of the decision making process. She wants to be heard, and that to me that was the most real thing I could think of for her, because I don't get that from her interactions on the show.
That she wants to be a decision maker.
That she's got that strong of a personality. I don't see that at all.
I take Sabrina as low key bossy. Okay, I take her as low key bossy. Now, in the next clip, in that last clip that we seen with that submission question, she had all kind of problems.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
so I take her as being wanting to head the household, and that just me personally, yeah, that wouldn't work with me. We would be bumping heads, because I feel as a man it's my job to be a leader, okay, and I do it well. Okay, I lead well, so that wouldn't work for me, and I wouldn't fall for a lot of the psychological abuse that she will probably give, like not talking to me no more, or
strong language abuse,
for the lack of a better word, right now. Because listen, a lot of times, a lot of psychological abuse is overlooked. That men put up with a lot of that from women that they love. They do. They put up with a lot of games that the women play. They put up with a lot of these psycho things that they do to their men. They use anger as a weapon. They use arguing as a weapon. They overshout their men, and they do all of these things. And I'm not saying that is all one-sided. I'm just saying when it comes to the women and the men, sometimes they can use all of these things to not their benefit, but they just use these things as weapons of theirs to try to win arguments and try to control their men. I don't think you would get.
You don't think people in general don't use those? I feel like that's
people in general use those, but but in relationships, women use it more because they don't have the physical part of it, so they go to other sources. It's just a fact. Okay, men have physical strength, women have psychological strength. That's just is what it is, and they use what they got. A lot of times they overshout, or they may play a lot of these I'm cut you off, and these are things that he said. Okay, these are things that her ex said that she do. Don't do this. She gonna have the last word. She gonna cut you off if she don't like this. He's saying she's doing that.
I thought he meant cut you off, like cut you off from talking.
I mean, I think he meant cut you off like she ain't speaking to you no more. Like you on a Sabrina timeout type thing. And that's listen, I like Sabrina like you like Vern. Okay, that's my boo. But at the same time, I won't be putting up with the BS. I just wouldn't. That's the difference between me and you. I like as attracted to her as I am. I'm not gonna be dealing with all that. I don't like arguing with women. I just don't. I think it's a waste of time, especially if we're not trying to build something. If we're trying to outshout each other, if we're trying to play these psychological games of timeouts and cut off and forget you, and I don't want to listen to you and all this other stuff, like Kia, I ain't gonna even talk about it. You got one shot and you done, and because I got other dudes here. Like, it's listen, most of the women here are beautiful women, but let's face it, they got some problems, just like the men do. Okay, but the men's problems a lot of times get highlighted like cliffs, but a lot of the times the women's don't. And it just is what it is. Now,
man, listen. Do you need a hug?
I'm
Do
good.
I'm good. Because you know what I'm thinking? I was wondering, do you love women? No, I was thinking Mike doesn't love women the way I love men. We're in different phases.
Whoa.
I feel like that because you are so critical. I mean, like you took Dakia and was like, you can't make a mistake with her. And I was like, damn.
I look at
her in front of a bunch of people. How can you extrapolate that?
I look at my sisters as queens, okay? But I see them. I see them with the crowns on their heads, okay? But I expect them to act like the queens that they are. Right. You see what I'm saying? We if we're trying to build something, we can't do timeouts and we're in a relationship. We too busy building, okay? I know the crown that I wear and I know the crown you wear, so let's act accordingly. That's all I'm saying. Maybe I expect more out of my ladies. Maybe I just expect more, but make no mistake about it, I love them just as much as you love men. Trust and believe, okay? Can't live without them. Facts. Can't live without them. But sometimes I need a break. Anyway, I need a break from them. But I still I love all women. If I'm keeping it hot, I love all women. But you know, my sisters, I just want us to get to a point where we are loving on each other, and it's not so much about psychological games, or it's not about things like that. And I'm not saying it's just the women who do that. It's men who do that too, and they mess up relationships just as bad as the women. But I'm a guy, okay? So I can only speak from a guy perspective. You are here, my dear, to speak on the woman's behalf. But that's just how I feel. I expect my queens to walk like queens. That being said, let me go to Christina while we were talking about her. Yeah, another ex exposing, and that's why I wanted to see this. I couldn't wait till the exes came on. Another ex exposing the lady. Look, you know, that was another one who said she was going to be, she threw a phone and all this, like,
yeah.
you might think I'm being hard. That's what I'm saying. You might think I'm being hard on the ladies, but I'm like, look, y'all all gorgeous women. Why are we still doing stuff like this at our ages? Now I know she's the youngest one of the bunch. And I told you in a previous episode, she got some certain type of ways. She gonna play games, or she's just not going to be as mature as the other ladies. And that's why I wasn't really, I was watching out for that for her, because I do this whole thing surprise me? No, not at all. That he said that. I said, yep, that sounds about right. She seems like the kind of woman to key your car. She'll throw your phone. You know what I mean? Your phone is always in rice because she done threw it in the water, or you know, or broke it or something. You know, and she didn't come across, again, I don't know the woman, so these are soft judgments, okay? But she just came across to me as a woman that is not mature. Like, it's funny that she not rocking with Wiley, but I don't take her as being that mature either. I think that's probably why she's attracted to the older men, is because she needs somebody to balance her out, and she know it. She needs somebody to balance her out. So she goes for the oldest guy. Again, I don't have no problem with that. But at the same time, yeah, I know. But at the same time, I'm not surprised at all by some of the things her exes said, like throwing, you know, and that's just probably just the tip of the iceberg. We probably don't even know the real juicy stuff that she probably did. Now, granted, one of her exes did end up cheating on her or something like that.
She said that.
While she was pregnant. Now, if she threw that guy phone, good for her. She should have did that shit, especially since she was pregnant and all that, and he went and cheated. I don't think that was her ex that did that.
She wouldn't have brought him on.
No,
right?
She wouldn't have brought him on the show. But I just want my queens to walk like queens. Like, that's not.
When cool. A man cheats on a woman, I wish I could coach a woman cheat on his ass back. Don't get crazy.
You do not need to be talking to these ladies then. Don't tell them that.
I'm trying to tell you.
Don't tell them that.
Don't just keep getting your heart broken. Break a heart.
Don't.
Because here's the thing. Because that's where you end up with a woman throwing shit and acting crazy. Because we just highlighted two different cheaters in this woman's life, right? She young. She ain't as old as me. She ain't have as many men, right? So those things hurt people. And if you get a long list of that, for me, here's my take on it. I'm gonna put y'all on game. I'm faithful to me. What is good to Tamara is what Tamara's going to do. If this man, because most of us know when our man cheat, we ain't got to check no phone, we ain't got to follow him, we ain't got to peek around corners. He do one thing and you know it's out of order, you know what he's already done. You ain't got to stress yourself out, worry about it's because you fat, because you had a baby. Do what feels right for you. Whether that's rid of him, hooking up with the person that you should have been with. Like, I know this ain't helping the community, but I don't like to see my sisters get hurt and then get judged for the way they respond to it.
Tamara.
Can't have us doing that.
Tamara.
Level yourself out with a.
I got you, Tamara. Give me an alternative to that. Instead of cheating back on him, give me an alternative.
Hey, here's my theory. There are different reasons people cheat. Some people cheat because they greedy. If your man or your woman is cheating because they greedy, there's nothing you can do with that. You're never gonna be perfect enough, sexy enough, skinny enough, clean the kitchen enough. They gonna cheat because they don't know how to dodge pussy or dick. That's it, right? Other people cheat because something's broken. Something's going on in the relationship that y'all need to fix. Right? In that case, let's try to figure this out, right? That's out of character. Let's talk about it. You got to be honest, though. You got to admit that you cheated. You can't play games like you didn't do it if you really want it to work.
If I had to guess, I would say that she was pregnant. She didn't want to do nothing with him. He wasn't getting he went and cheated. That's just a guess. But go ahead.
Most women want more sex when they're pregnant. Just depends on what phase we're in. Because the second trimester, we're horny as I don't know what.
Yeah, that's true.
But everybody's different.
But give me an alternative. You didn't give me an alternative.
I said we could talk. I said the alternatives depend on what kind of cheating we are, right? If we're a cheater because we can't turn down new underwear, then the alternative is you cheat because that person's a cheater. They don't know how to not sleep around.
But going to cheating on him is not the answer. I need an alternative.
I like that one. Let's go with the next one. The next one is talk about why. But most of the time, people aren't going to be that honest with you. They're not going to be first. They're not going to be honest enough to tell you they cheated. You're going to have to catch their ass. Which by the time you do that, that's humiliating, right? There's a whole lot of layers to catching somebody. But if you are fortunate enough to a person that tells you, then you should be able to talk through it, be very vulnerable, be very honest. What's happening? What am I missing? What do I need? That really is about need. Somebody needs something. So that's the alternative. Let's figure out what we need, right? And if the relationship is over and y'all just in it, get out of it. That's the other alternative. Get out of it. Do I think that cheating is a deal breaker? I do not. I'm maybe one of the few women that don't think cheating is a deal breaker. When my ex-husband cheated, I had to check in. Like, you hurt,
Right.
but you still love this man. You still believe in y'all family. You still want the unit. Pray your way, work through this shit. It took me 3 years to forgive him, right? I still never got proof that he did it, but I just said, you know what? The worst case scenario is he cheated. So let's just forgive him for that. Because I'm not finna go through nobody's phone. I'm not doing none of that.
Okay.
So do that, right? But then when I saw the behavior again, I had to say, you know what? My forgiveness didn't mean anything to you. I see this again. This is something, and I'll be honest. I regret the order of operations of cheating on him. I should have divorced him, then did the thing. But I was so broken at the time. I couldn't see how I was going to survive without that man with my 2 small kids. So I can speak from my own experience.
I got you.
That it's a case by case. You can't blanket and say, go cheat on him, right? Like I said, you can't say, try to forgive him. You can't say, divorce him. Every case is different.
Yeah, every case is different.
But you owe it to yourself to check in on what case you got.
Okay. Let me continue on and get through it.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. So next up is Ace here. So I was surprised by how much she seemed to be affectionate towards Tori. I mean, he was hugging her, picking her up right in front of her ex and all that, and that was cool. But I didn't get her ex saying she was an alpha. Like, I know that that was your dude or whatever, but I was like, but like we said, we know we see Ace representative, but I just find it very strange that he would consider her an alpha. She don't come across an alpha, even like even if she's in a company of others, like she would walk away if she's not feeling like she's a part of the group, like she did that one time, and Clifton had to come over and console her. It's like she don't give off alpha to me. Now, how is she in a relationship? Probably a lot different. This is why I didn't like Ace, because she did seem fake to me from day one. And if this guy is saying that she's an alpha in real life, he probably just confirmed what I was thinking. And look, a lot of my judgments be spot on. I'm just saying, I'm gonna put that out there. I'm gonna drop that. You can pick it up. All right. But Ace does seem to be somebody who, like I said, I don't even know if that's her real name. She's very. Sometimes I be thinking that RTL throw a mole in the situation. They just throw a mole in the is one of the people on the show. Like, if I had to pick a mole, it would be Ace. It really would be Ace. I don't even think that was her real ex. Okay. I think that dude is manufactured some kind of way. Her name is manufactured some kind of way. Her occupation is manufactured some kind of way. I just don't buy none of it. It's hard for me to even say I like Ace because I'm not even sure I know the real Ace. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what's going on with this situation? Are y'all throwing moles in the damn mix? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it with her because nothing. I don't even really know much about her past. She never talks about her past, really. You see what I'm saying? She could be a real person. She could very well be a real person. That could be her real ex. But I'm not buying it. Again, I don't think I'm wrong about many things. This one I could be, I don't know, but it ain't looking like it because she looked like some mold to me, and she looks like she's in there to stir some stuff up some kind of way. And I think she did have 3 guys came to see her, and I'm like, I'm not getting it. Like, because they didn't even get, like, her personality don't even match what he was saying. That's why I think it's fake. You know what I mean? So that's the Ace situation. I think that she still may be the next one to go. I don't know. And last up is Carmen. All right. I like Carmen X. He was cool. He was a cool guy. He was laid back. He wasn't frazzled by none of these guys. And I do like Carmen though. I think that Carmen don't never come off as someone who's challenging her men. She challenged women only. She don't challenge men. And I can appreciate that. She do come off as a classy lady. She comes off very, very sexy lady. And she comes off as someone you can kind of build something with. I would rock with Carmen. I don't know how far it would go, but I'll be along for the ride, to see how it go. I just think that she's, or at least she's portraying someone who would be a good partner. And I don't think that all of it is her representative, she being fake or anything like that, because she responds the same in her interviews that she do in her dating world. Like when that situation happened with Eric, she was like, "Oh, something ain't right," I mean, she's consistent across the board, and I can appreciate that. I don't know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you were sitting at that table and her ex said to you that she works with a lot of very attractive, athletes, whatever he said, how would that strike you? That was his warning?
It wouldn't bother me if she worked with guys like that. Obviously, she's out here looking for love, so I wouldn't really think that would be an issue. I would just think that maybe that was a point of contention for them. Otherwise, why would he bring it up? You see what I'm saying? If it was not a big deal to him, I can't think of that being an issue to bring up. My lady goes to the grocery store on Sunday. Why would you bring that up if that's not an issue? You see what I'm saying? Or just something that. So I think it was saying more about their relationship than it would be about our relationship.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think I took it way more seriously. I thought that's a great question. I'm glad he provided them their insight, because I can't tell what she does and what that means. But as a woman who works with a lot of men, every man can't handle that. No matter how innocuous it is, you really need to think about it with your chest, at home in the dark with Jesus, not on the camera. Because on the camera, yeah, I can handle it. That's not a problem. But really, really think about it, because this woman is sexy all the time.
Yeah.
And don't think that some man other than you is not going to find her sexy. They are.
Yeah.
They are going to be inappropriate. Yeah. They are going to say things. Now, what you got to be confident is that she's going to handle it in a ladylike way.
That's my thing. I worry more about her than I do other men. Men are going to be men. I know this. And they're going to look at my woman or whatever. Now, if they get disrespectful with it, especially if I'm present, we gonna have a problem. But I have to have the confidence in her to know she know how to handle that stuff. I was actually in that situation. I was with a very attractive woman, and men found her attractive. But I seen how she handled it, so it didn't rile me up because I had confidence in my woman. I knew that she could hold her own, and she never gave me any reason to get in that space, you know. But at the same time, um, you're right. A lot of men, irregardless, are not going to be cool with that because they don't, they don't have that emotional. I don't want to say emotional intelligence, but they just don't have that security about themselves to allow their woman to move in that way. It can be a little bit intimidating if all she do is look at guys all day, and especially if she dressed a certain type of way, and try to draw attention to themselves. I personally don't really care for women who try to draw a whole lot of attention to themselves, especially if they're in a relationship with me. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you gotta be, a prude all the time, but I'm saying, you're gonna get what you put out in the universe. It's just the law of nature. And if you're trying to put out a lot of stuff in the universe, you're gonna get it back, Dakia. And sometimes you're gonna get some stuff back that is not wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I would like to offer that I do think part of what you like about Carmen being a man's woman is why she's probably good at her job. And I don't think it's not turn offable. It's a real, and I wonder, is it always her, or did the job help develop that? It's probably a little bit of both. Because if she's working with athletes and professionals, she's gotta be outgoing. She's gotta be persuasive.
Exactly.
She's gotta be engaging. All of those things that you are attracted to her for, she has to use them all in her job. And so,
and I would get that. And
that's real, right?
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah, and that's a real thing. And I would get that, and I will understand that. But baby, you don't have to put the racks on racks on racks on display. You know what I mean? All the time.
Right.
But then I will be questioning, okay, you're looking for attention. See, I don't really, I like pretty girls or beautiful women, but I don't like them trying, especially if they've done a good job of securing me. Okay, then you don't need to advertise anymore. Okay, like you're a single woman, you don't need to advertise, because really that's an advertisement. At some point, all the ladies advertise. Carmen, Dakia.
So the outfit she wore today, she should never wear that to work.
Absolutely not. Because the racks were out.
There's nothing left to the imagination.
Exactly, and that's when I could see it being a little contentious. Because it's not. Then it comes to a point where it's not how you handle yourself, it's the attention you're drawing in. Okay, you could be Bruce Lee and block everything coming your way, but turn off the high beams, and maybe you won't have to be doing so much blocking. You see what I'm saying? So work with me. You don't look. You got the prize. I got you. You the prize. Okay, I know that. You know that. So only people we need to be impressing is each other at this point. But with her body style, she gonna get attention regardless.
Yeah, she can't. Even if she
wear a garbage bag and she can still get attention. Okay. With the body shape that she got. So it's still going to come, and I know it's going to come. So I would just have confidence in her and let her handle. But it wouldn't be a point of contention with us. It wouldn't be necessarily a problem. Only problem would be is how she handles the whole situation, how she dresses, how she blocks, how she do this, that, and the third. But that would be it.
Okay.
So that will wrap this one up. Sorry, y'all, we got a little long-winded these joints. Tamara, she loved to try to drag me through the mud on all this stuff and
Oh
try
yeah.
and, then I got to over explain the same point, a whole bunch of times because she keep pressing me on them. So I want to make sure she get the point. So
I got it.
Any last words?
This was a really good episode. I really don't know how I feel about bringing exes on the show. I was thinking if I was on the show, who would I bring? But if you're smart, if you're the person, you ask good questions and you keep control of the situation, because you're curious. If you're curious about this person that you're interested in, So I thought where people did a good job of that, it went well. And where people didn't do a good job of that, it didn't.
Exes can be messy, but I like that because it gets out some of the real, it gets rid of a lot of the fake and gets some of the real introduced into the situation. And you do get to know a bit of their background, their temperaments and their habits and their things like that. I'm looking forward to the men exes coming on. I think theirs is next. And I think that's probably going to be just as messy. I think it's going to be.
Usually the women don't be messy when they come on.
Oh, listen. Yes, it does. Yeah, well, I don't know. Not so much, especially last season. Though those women wasn't. The woman with the long fingernails, Walter's ex, she wasn't that messy. Frank's ex, the white lady, she wasn't that messy. But we'll see. We'll see how it is. A lot of times they don't bring the immediate ex, okay, on the show. They're gonna bring the ex from 1982.
That y'all friends now.
Yeah, we friends. We kissed under the sycamore tree in third grade, and now she's here telling you about how that was. Not much information, and she ain't got an emotional tie. Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of times breakups are bitter. Men and women, a lot of breakups are bitter.
That's why I don't break up. I just wait for them to stop calling me.
Yeah, that's one strategy. But I like the exes. I can't wait to see the guys' exes on there, see what they're talking about, and keep it going from there. And you got any people who you think is gonna go next? It's probably gonna be a woman.
Oh, I think Ace is next. Who's checking for her? Or Christina. One of the two. Because her ex did not help her out. Demetrius might be turned off. I know Paul kind of was turned off, but
I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in it, and I'm gonna say either Dakia or Joy is actually gonna go. Because Joy ain't got enough connections, and Dakia just dropped her connection, and I'm thinking the brothers are probably gonna freeze up on her a little bit. She's trying to recruit more guys, but I think they're gonna see through it, and especially since Eric got sent home, I think the guys are gonna freeze up on her and Joy. So I still think Ace is gonna be safe. Plus she's a mole, so she ain't gonna be going nowhere.
Well, yeah. So to date who? Tori?
Who?
Like at this point, the only couple that makes sense is Clifton and Joy. The rest of this is ridiculousness to me.
Yeah, but I don't think that. I think the guys are gonna be bitter towards Joy because she ain't trying to really rock with nobody else. Really, Vern is gone too, so she only got one guy, and that's Cliff. And
Dakia only has one guy, and that's Cliff. So
Dakia,
she only has for her.
Right? And Cliff can only go one way. She's gonna try to recruit Tori. Dakia is, I think. Yeah. But I think Dakia or Joy is gonna go. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Thanks for joining us on this one. Since the BMR covered it, oh my goodness, it's official.
Did we cover it?
We did cover it. And hit the like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.